It's lucky day 13 of the Walk Off the Weight series, and I've got a great knee-friendly power walk for us. Let's go! All right, killer bees, let's go ahead and get moving and grooving, and that means that we are getting started with some arm circles with high knees. Oh my gosh, can I tell you how much I always look forward to getting our workouts started? And welcome to it, you guys. I'm Paula B. I'm your best middle-aged fitness friend, and around here, we are walking off the weight for the entire month of January, and I am so excited about today's workout, and I know that I say that every day, but I'm especially excited because I have literally been sitting all day. It's like early afternoon right now, and I have been sitting all day long, and I am really excited about getting moving. You know, for somebody who exercises for a living, I actually do a lot of sitting at my desk, and it feels so good to get up and get a little bit of exercise. You guys, I've got a great one for us today. We have a knee-friendly power walk, which means that there are absolutely no squats, absolutely no lunges. There's also no jumping because there's never any jumping. There's no transitions to the ground. There's no equipment. This one is all fun all the time. Let's go ahead and do some arm crossers with booty kickers. It's also, it's all moving all the time. This is a great endurance workout today. And really, anytime I say endurance, that just means that we don't have any rest. I've got the handy dandy gym boss here, set for intervals of 30 seconds. We're gonna go back and forth between a nice walking pace and a bunch of other low impact cardio exercises. I've got several of them, I don't know, a dozen maybe. It's a repeating no repeat day, which means that we're going to do each one twice in a row before we move on to the next thing. But once we move on, we have moved on nicely. So now here's the thing about a workout where there's no rest is that we really want to make sure that we take it at a pace that makes sense to be able to go the entire time. That is probably, arguably, one of the best skills that we're working on this month. Let's go ahead and do some welcome to my homes, because welcome to my home. Welcome to Rosie in the chair today. Have you guys seen Rosie? I mean, it depends on how long you've been working out with me. But here on this particular series, it's been Blossom in the chair like all month long. But today, they were having a battle of wills. We are going to work out, I promise, but I'm going to tell you this cute story first. So Blossom was in the chair. Rosie came over and she decided that she wanted the chair. And so she was like walking all up and around the chair and was like meowing and kind of, I mean, she wasn't aggressive. She's a really old cat. She's 16 and a half, so she's not like she's aggressive or anything. But she was like letting it be known that the chair was hers, and Blossom got out of the chair. But then Blossom was sitting at the foot of the chair for a very long time. Let's go ahead and get walking, you guys. I thank you for indulging me in my story about my pets, but it was hilarious to watch. Everybody loves this chair. Like, everybody loves this chair. I love this chair. So Rosie was the winner today. You guys, win it beeps. We're gonna do low swinging tappers. And what that means is that our feet are gonna tap side to side. And I call it low swinging because your hands are not over your head. They're actually gonna swing up pretty high, but it's just that they're swinging from side to side down low. Now you can take this at any kind of a pace that feels best for you. Remember that in order to lose weight, we wanna make sure that we're exercising moderately. We don't need to go super fast. We don't need to go super crazy. The whole point of exercise, honestly, is to have fun. I mean, yeah, we're getting benefits of it. I mean, you know, whatever, heart health, and helping our muscles and bones, you know, stuff like that too. But honestly, I'm just here for the endorphins. I'm just here to have a good time. When it beeps again, we're coming right back to walking. And this is the way it's gonna go. So we're gonna walk and we're gonna do something else. And then we're gonna walk and then we're gonna do something else. When it beeps again, we're gonna do those low swinging tappers again, because this is a repeating no repeat. And then we'll move on to our next exercise. So the thing about endurance work, my friends, endurance work is my jam. And endurance work is such a great foundational skill to have while we are, even if you are not new to exercise, honestly, maybe even especially if you are not new to exercise. Here we go with those low swinging tappers. This is still something that's really good for your body to work on. Lots of us, and I'm totally pointing to myself here, lots of us, when we start getting exercising and we realize how much we like it, we can start moving into like power workouts, you know, like HIIT workouts or speed work when I was, you know, doing a lot of running, speed work kind of stuff. Things that give us, here we go back to walking. So now we're done with those low swinging tappers. Boom, done. Awesome. when it beeps again, we're gonna do forward hinge arm flappers, which is exactly what it sounds like. We're gonna hinge forward at the waist while our hands are flapping. We're gonna be doing basically jumping jacks with our arms and honestly a deadlift with our lower body. So making sure that you're pushing your hips back behind you when we are swinging our arms going up and down. But the thing about endurance work is that it is always good for you. So here we are with these forward hinge arm flappers. Endurance work is actually the real basis of heart health. And we're going to talk about heart health a fair amount this month, just because it is something it's a big deal, my friends. Heart disease is the #1 killer in the world, and it is such an important and avoidable thing. And I'm going to say it's important to take care of your heart, and it's avoidable to have some kinds of heart conditions. By doing this kind of work, not too fast, not too intense, not too crazy, nice and moderate, this kind of work done regularly, for example, every day, like we do for weight loss, is great for your heart. And the wonderful news about that is that you can actually get, here we go with those forward hinge arm flappers for the second and final time, you can actually get a nice endurance burn, meaning that you can raise your heart rate but not go too crazy with all kinds of exercises. I know lots of us really think that we need to do like a power walk like this, where we're walking and we're doing other things, or some kind of more intense kind of work. But I will tell you, and here we go back to walking, but I will tell you that plain old walking, just this, is great for your heart. And other kinds of moderate or even low intensity work are actually still great for your heart. Now when it beeps again, we're going to do kick jacks. Once again, hands are going to be doing jumping jacks, but your lower body is going to be doing kicking. Even when we are doing work like strength training, which was that just yesterday, day before yesterday? Really recently. I do not have these all memorized, and I'm not recording them in exact order, but I know we just did a strength training workout. That got my heart rate up high enough that was actually good for my heart health as well. My friends, making sure that you're pulling in your core while we're kicking our feet up this nice and high. Now I say that we're kicking up nice and high. You might be just barely kicking forward. Whatever kind of intensity works for you always works for me. And this, going back to walking, this is what I want you to take away from our conversation today. Endurance work simply means that you are continuing to do some kind of movement over time. It doesn't have to be tough. It doesn't have to be intense. It doesn't have to be a lot, and it doesn't even have to be over a long amount of time. This kind of moderate work, oh, bye, Rosie. Let's see if Blossom comes out later now that the chair is empty. This kind of moderate work, here we go back with kick jacks, can be done in so many different ways and is always good for you. One of the reasons why this kind of, the daily 5 method is so good for you is simply because we're moving our body a little bit every single day. So good for your heart, so good for your mood, so good for your body, so good, here we go back to walking, for losing weight. But only, of course, if you are eating the right number of calories, getting your sleep, drinking your water, managing your mind, all the 5 steps that we talk about. You guys, when it beeps again, we're doing booty kicker elbow swings, it's the booty kickers that we do in our warm-up, but we're going to be swinging our elbows forward and back, almost like, what would that be like cross-country skiing kind of a motion where your elbows are swinging forward and back. So here we go with booty kickers with some elbow swinging. Still kind of feels like a warm-up. I feel that stretch in the fronts of my thighs, and I absolutely love this one. My friends, the thing about starting with endurance work is that it's foundational because your heart needs to adapt kind of gently to things. Now, your heart is capable, absolutely capable of going, here we go back to walking, of going from, 0 to 60. If you needed to, run from a saber-toothed tiger, for example, you could do that whether or not you had trained for it or not. But your heart likes practice, the same way the rest of your body likes practice at things in order to get nice and efficient with it. So when we jump into a brand new exercise program and we go straight for, here we go with those booty kicker elbow swings again for the second and final time, some of us, and I count myself here in this too, when we go directly into an exercise program that has lots of HIIT workouts and lots of really intense kinds of movements, your heart is capable of doing that, but at some point, maybe not your heart, but some part of your body is going to give you a bit of a protest. During the workout itself, your heart and lungs will probably protest. Here we go back to walking, because they're not prepared for that kind of work. When you do this kind of foundational work nice and regularly, every day, every other day, whatever fits into your schedule, whatever works best for you personally, you are preparing your heart to be more efficient at harder workouts, should you ever decide to do them. When it beeps again, we're doing butter churns. Okay. Seems to me like last time I got this wrong. So here we go with hands going up and down. I got it right this time. When your hand is down, when you're actually churning the butter, you're so excited about it that you're kicking your leg out to the side. So I always have to have some kind of mnemonic device to remember these different exercises. And this is how I am now going to remember the butter churns, because this is something that has traditionally given me a lot of trouble remembering where your hands are and where your feet are. And I promise you, here we go back to walking, it doesn't matter at all. It literally never matters what we are doing, as long as you are not injuring yourself, and as long as we are making it move at a pace that you can maintain. This kind of moderate pace is exactly perfect for your heart. Now, my moderate might not be your moderate. You might be thinking, okay, Paula, you're moving kind of fast today, and I need to pull this down. So here we go with our butter churns again. You can absolutely move at whatever pace is best for you. For some of you, it might be a little bit faster than me. For some of you, it might be a little bit slower or even a lot slower. Whatever works, whatever feels moderate, meaning whatever your heart does not protest and does not feel like it's pounding out of your chest, is the pace that's best for you, my friends. When it beeps again, of course, we're coming right back to walking. Awesome job. And coming up next, we are doing toy soldiers. That means that you're going to have your hands above your head, which is going to raise your heart rate. And we're going to be reaching our opposite hand towards our opposite kicking foot. Now, I've done a lot of, we had some hands overhead, but I've intentionally kept our hands mostly lower for this workout because of our conversation today about heart health and moderation. Every time your hands go up, so here we go with toy soldiers, I'm going to slow my pace down a little bit because I'm thinking about the whole workout, not just this one interval. 30 seconds is actually pretty manageable for almost anything. If we were doing something significantly more intense than this, you could probably still manage 30 seconds of it. But then we need to take a rest. We need to get our heart and lungs under control. So I'm moving at a pace, here we go back to walking, that was a little bit slower so that I could still manage my heart rate. Now, I get asked this question all the time about what kind of a number am I aiming for? And I will tell you that the numbers kind of matter. I have my fitness watch on. Sometimes I watch my heart rate a little bit, but honestly, it's not about aiming for a specific number. And here's why. If I tell you, you need your heart to be beating at whatever, here we go with toy soldiers for the second and final time, you might unintentionally be aiming to hit that number on a day when something lower might actually be appropriate for you. And you might be aiming to hit that number when your body actually feels really energetic and really good, and something slightly higher is still pretty moderate for you for today. I would much rather have you pay attention to your body, pay attention to your body's signals. Here we go back to walking, and notice how you feel. If you have been exercising for a long time, you are probably going to feel like you're not doing much, and that's totally okay. Always err on the side of doing too little, because my friend, you can lose weight without exercising at all, as we have talked about. When it beeps again, we're doing wide arm side taps. So we're gonna have our hands right about here at shoulder height. Elbows stay at shoulder height the whole time. We're gonna open up our hands, and tap out to the side. Now I am not entirely shifting my weight, but I'm tapping pretty heavily so that I'm really having to engage my core here and think about where my body is. Holding on to your core while we're doing cardio, always a good choice, my friends. Always practicing having your core pulled in, keeping your body safe, getting stronger. Here we go back to walking with every single rep we do. We're going to do those wide arm side taps one more time. Now here's the thing about today being knee friendly. I really wanted to take today, and there will be at least one other, and I think we've already had one other knee friendly workout. I want to make sure that you know that you have lots of options when it comes to exercising. Yes, I know you notice on the days, here we go with those wide arm side tappers. I know you notice on the days when we do squats and lunges. I mean, anytime there's something that you don't like to do or that causes you pain or that just doesn't feel good, you start to think, gosh, all of these workouts, every workout on the internet has squats and lunges. I totally get that. Anytime there's something that you can't or don't like to do, it's what we notice. But this kind of workout, I wanted to showcase just how many different kinds of exercises, here we go back to walking, just how many different kinds of exercises there are that don't require any kind of squats or any kinds of lunges. These exercises, anytime I'm doing squats and lunges, you can swap in your favorite from today. When it beeps again, we're doing half jacks. Love this one. It's literally half of a jumping jack. We're going to do the right side and we're going to do the left side. So one hand at a time is going to be going up nice and high like they do in jumping jacks. Absolutely no jumping. And this side tap is a lot like we did with those wide arm side taps, where you're really switching the weight. You're really thinking about pulling in your core and using your abdominal muscles to direct this motion. Now, with one hand at a time, going up over your head, I notice that my heart rate is getting a little bit higher. So I'm going to bring it down just a little half a notch here. Now, my friends, depending on what kind of issues you personally have with your knees, let's go ahead and come back to walking. You might need to be especially careful of lots of different kinds of motions. So when I'm calling something knee friendly, it might not still be exactly perfect for you. I'm going to urge you, no matter what kind of issue you have going on with your knee, always talk to your doctor about whatever kind of pain you're having and make sure that whatever kind of exercising you're doing is always appropriate for you. Here we go with half jacks. And I say that to all of my bees who have any kind of pain. I get lots of questions about, oh, I have shoulder pain, or I have hip pain, or I have knee pain. What exercises are appropriate for me? And I will tell you, yes, I am a fitness expert, but that doesn't mean I'm an expert in you and what you need. Always talk to your doctor and your physical therapist about the exact exercises that are best for you, and make sure, here we go back to walking, make sure that exercising just in general is best for you. If you have active pain, I wholeheartedly encourage you to take care of your pain before you do any kind of regular exercise. Your body won't get as much benefit from exercise if it is trying to fight off pain. When it beeps again, we're going to be doing skiers. Hands are going to be going up and down directly in front of us while feet are shuffling back and forth underneath us. I try very hard to go across my body with this one. Every time we go across our bodies, we're asking our abs to little bit more work. And when in doubt, you know me, I like to sneak in something a little bit complex so that lots of our body parts are working together. But if you happen to start with the same hand and the same foot going back at the same time, don't worry about it. There's no way to do these wrong, coming back to walking, unless you are injuring yourself. My friends, pain is no joke. And this is something that I actually hear from a lot of women our age. Oh, I have low back pain, but I love doing your workouts, and I want to push a little harder, and I really want to lose weight, and I want to do this, and I want to do that. I will tell you, because you can lose weight without exercising at all, taking care of your pain, here we go with skiers. Taking care of your pain is absolutely the best exercise that you can be doing. I know that this is fun. I know that I'm having a good time with today's workout. But if this is maybe not causing you pain, but exacerbating pain or not relieving pain that you have, I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and stop the video right now, to call your doctor, to talk to your physical therapist, and to take care of your pain. Coming back to walking. My friends, oh my gosh, we have made it almost all the way through my list of exercises. Coming up next, we're going to end a lot of the same way that we started. We started with those low swinging tappers, and we're ending with high swinging tappers, which I actually call day breaks. Speaking of funny stories, I have told this story more than once. I call this particular exercise day breaks because of the Barry Manilow song called Daybreak, which if you know it will now be in your head. Here we go with our hands swinging up overhead, feet tapping from side to side. I mean, really, you could be at any concert of anybody ever. And I've actually never even seen Barry Manilow in concert. But one of my favorite childhood memories was sitting in the back seat of my Aunt Marty's very tiny Datsun, what would it have been? 280Z. It was a little car, and there were my 2 siblings and I, and my 3 cousins and her. So yes, do the math. Here we are back at walking. There was 7 of us in a car that probably only had 4 or 5 seat belts, because it was the 1970s. But I remember my Aunt Marty was a huge Barry Manilow fan. We would put on his records or his cassette tapes in the car and sing at just full volume, and we'd be doing the daybreak hand motion, and it was hilarious to a small child. As an adult, of course, I'm like freaking out at how unsafe that was. Here we go with day breaks for the second and final time. But it still makes me laugh and smile to think about how young and carefree I once was. You guys, when we are done with this one, we are done. We are not quite finished. We're going to do one more interval of walking, and I'm going to really cool down with that walk before we do our finisher. Because of course, my friends, of course our finisher is really going to challenge our balance. And I want to make sure that our heart rate is not entirely too high to be able to feel successful at this. In fact, speaking of that, if you need to pause the video and get close to a wall or a chair or have a chair near you, totally fine. We're going to do something I call around the world kicks, which means that we're going to kick forward, we're going to kick to the side, and we're going to kick to the rear. And we're going to continue kicking around the world on one side for one entire interval. It's going to be 30 seconds of standing on one side and really throwing ourselves off balance, kicking forward, kicking to the side, and kicking to the rear. I'm going to start with my left leg, kicking forward, kicking to the side, and kicking to the rear. Now here's the thing. If the kicking is too much, do tapping instead. The reason I chose this particular finisher is because I really wanted to showcase for you, for those of you who don't like to do squats and lunges, how very much of a burn you can feel in your whole lower body when you do any kind of a kick. This is why I recommend that when I'm doing squats or lunges, here we go on the other side, when I'm doing squats or lunges, you can do any kind of a kick that feels good to you and still absolutely get the benefit of the lower body strengthening work. Oh my gosh, pull in that core, make sure that you're bringing that balance work all the way up your body, right here into the center of your balance as much as you can. Of course, there's some wobbling and bobbling to be had. You guys, you know I wobble and bobble. That was the very last time that the timer is gonna beep. We are better than done. We are finished. So let's Cool it down. My friends, what a great job you did. Let's go ahead and do some arm circles with these tappers. Now I know I just told you how bringing your hands up over your head raises your heart rate, but we're moving really, really gently now. Nice and easy, moving your arms through their full range of motion, letting your heart rate come down gently. Of course, here on screen, I am gonna have an extended cool down for you like I always do. On the other side of the screen, I've got everything you need to know about weight loss at 50 and beyond. If you haven't watched it yet, or even if you have, it's a really nice daily reminder of the things that we need to be doing, the things that we need to keep top of mind while we're on our way to our goal. Let's go ahead and do some arm openers. Oh my gosh, that nice big deep breath. And then some arm closers. Give yourself a hug and a nice pat on your back. My friends, I know this is foundational work, but it feels so good to get through any kind of a nice moderate workout and know that you are done for the day. You have done everything you need to do exercise-wise, and we'll be here again tomorrow. My friends, make sure you click that subscribe button, and I'll see you tomorrow.